Okay, time for a Just to Serve TV snack.
It's a real snack, although
What do you
not
got?
the way you begin, because usually we're talking about crime in the United States. So we thought we'd do something just a little bit different here. And I thought I would challenge you, but you have to put away your Google, your
Hands are up.
search, no search engines, no
Okay.
chat AI. Everyone who's watching this, put everything down, put it away. Just rely on that computer brain that we have, because
Is
as
this
I
a trivia? What is this?
sort of. This is a fill in the. This is going to be, you get to choose one or the other, okay? And
Okay,
you
well, that's
can't
better.
go looking forward. You're going to choose one. This happens to do with a major crime back in 1888
Oh, I
in
remember that.
London. You remember?
That was a rough. That was a rough time. That was a rough time for us.
A rough
So
time.
was this? Were we told this would be on the final or not?
No, this is
No?
something brand new. And the reason why is I told you that I've been to um, uh, two birthday parties and a birthday dinner this week. And, and so as a part of a presentation that I made the other night, not a presentation, it was like a comic. It was like a stand-in. It was like getting people ready, right? Are you ready for this, Michael Bryant?
You were
Are you ready
warming up
for this
the. You were
quiz?
warming up the room.
I'm
With
warming
this?
up the room,
Okay.
okay? This is like a quiz. I'm going to add the quiz to the
Oh my
stage. I'm
gosh.
actually going to, yes, okay, I'll read it for you.
Please do.
And this is a happy birthday trivia quiz, okay? And it's a Jack the
Okay.
Ripper London trivia quiz. And it was written by Dr. Peter Dina. Who's that? He is a retired coroner in England. He was Her Majesty's coroner. He was in Suffolk. He was in Kent. And, in England, the coroners, they used to, the coroners in England, we have a coroner system here, but they're not quite medical examiners, and they're not quite medical
Oh, sorry. I
examiners.
was trying to give us
That's
a
okay. That's
different view. Go ahead.
That's okay. You can just leave that. I'm going to put this back.
Okay.
I won't put it back yet. They're in charge of beluga. They're in charge of like caviar, whales. They're in charge of not really whales. What is it?
Who's in charge of caviar?
They're in charge. If they find, and also buried treasure. So if they have, a fish, that's a very important fish on the shoreline. They're in charge of that fish. I'll say big fish, little fish, big whale, little whale, because they may have, for instance, they may have things you can sell in them, or buried treasure. If you go out and find a buried treasure, coroners are in charge of that buried treasure, and they don't have to be medical examiners. They have an inquest, and
That I've seen in other places. Yes, I've
right.
seen that.
And we kind of adopted that system in here in the United States. So some of our counties are coroner counties, and then they'll rely on the hire doctor who's a pathologist, or we have a medical examiner system, like New York has a medical examiner system. Much of the counties, not all of them, New Jersey, the whole state, and all. So this quiz was done, made by someone who lectures around the world on Jack the Ripper. All right. And it's made for lay people because it's supposed to be fun. All right. So I'm going to
What's more fun than a mass murderer? Let's go.
Well, okay. Let's see if you can get it. If I can add it to the stage, you've taken me off the stage here.
Maybe I can. Maybe I have to put it back on. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I think you have to put
There
us
we go.
back. There we go. All right. So don't look at the second part. Well, I'm going to ask you the first question. Which member or members of the royal family have been suspected of being Jack the Ripper? Now you have three choices: A, B, or C.
Gosh. Edinburgh, Duke of Clarence, and the Dukes of Hazzard. I'm pretty sure it's not that one. So I'm going to say Edinburgh.
Very good. And you actually, when you started answering, you said Edinburgh, and the guest the other night who answered also said Edinburgh, because Edinburgh can be known as Edinburgh or
it's
Edinburgh. It's the Duke of Edinburgh, formerly as known. Very good. You get ding, 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 ding. One.
Thank you.
Okay. In which part of London? Don't pick up that. Don't pick up that. That Google search. In which part of London did Jack the Ripper murders take place? Okay, you have an A, B, and C again.
And I'm not all that familiar with most of. What's that say? The first one, Westminster, Westeros. Isn't Westeros in Game of Thrones? And Whitechapel. Boy, I'm just going to say Westminster because it's the only area I'm aware of exists. No.
Whoa.
Whitechapel.
Wrong. Whitechapel. Very
Mm.
good. You're right. Westeros is in Game of Thrones. Westminster Abbey. It was in Whitechapel. Which, if you go to Whitechapel today and go through it, it's still a very interesting area. And
Where is that? I'm familiar with Kensington Gardens and the West End.
now you can use your Google, because now you're giving me you're giving me agita when you ask me for geography. Okay, when I get taken on a tour. Okay,
Right.
but they used to have all, like they would have the sewing district, and it had a religious district and all. As a matter of fact, something was wiped off the one of the stores that supposedly Jack the Ripper fled through, because they were worried they were going to have a slaughter against a certain religious group because of what was on there and all. And it was a very poor area at that time. It's much different now today, but it's an interesting tour. And Dr. Dean actually has access to the back portion of the store, which was a fabric store when we were there, to go through to see where it is that Jack the Ripper fled through. Okay, let's go to number 3. You're at 50-50 right now. Which other historical event was taking place in exactly the same part of London at exactly the same time as the Jack the Ripper murders? Michael Bryant.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, so we know it's in the Whitechapel area. Uh-oh. Domino
Domino's
spelled
weighing in.
something. Hey. Let's see. I can't believe it would be the Great Fire. Just that seems to be disruptive of a serial killer's activities. Elephant Man's interesting, but I think that's just I'm going to say King Charles execution.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
Which one is it?
What do you think it is? Now you get your second choice.
Well, I'm going to say the fire.
Boo!
Oh, the Elephant Man was actually happening, really?
The Elephant Man was just a few blocks away at a local hospital where I've also been at, and where his remains had to be put inside, taken downstairs after one Michael Jackson about 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Did he buy those or something?
No, but he wanted to. So he went there, and so they were worried that he was going to try to. They removed him downstairs. Part of it, they actually secured his remains, the Elephant Man, during World War II bombings, also to make sure they weren't hurt. Maybe someday I'll show you the pictures I actually have of the Elephant Man's skeletal remains in the hospital, where he was at exactly the same time. So if you were giving a clue and you didn't want to really give a clue to people, you just go,
was that John Hurt? Is he the one who
John Hurt played him, and I think Bradley Cooper played him on stage.
Yeah. It's an amazing story, no doubt.
It's truly an amazing story. If you haven't read about his disease, his affliction, which today probably would be handled, but it's an amazing story. But yes, we can look at, and we're not doing the history of all this tonight. This is your little snack, and your snack would maybe a main show. We'll get Dr. Dean on to give his lecture, which he gives to people all over the world. That would really be a terrific lecture to do.
Some audio-visual aids.
Yes, and
okay. So
he has a whole PowerPoint to go with it. Okay.
This one is worth bonus points.
Okay, this is worth bonus points. So yeah, you're
probably was
1
Jack
for 3.
the Ripper.
Who's probably Jack the Ripper? A. Walter Sickert, a famous painter. B. Sir William Gull, a Queen Victoria's physician. And C. Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant.
This is a total crapshoot. I'm just going to pin it on Queen Victoria's physician.
You're like pinning it on the doctor, right?
Yeah, I figured maybe there's some fascination.
Oh, no. You get a second guess.
The painter.
Okay, now that's who some famous author believes it was. She wrote a book on it that she believes it was a famous painter. Boo!
So it's Aaron Kosminski.
Kosminski. He was the butcher, the local butcher in the area.
Oh, well, that makes some sense. See, I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah.
Was he ever? I don't know. Was he convicted? Was he arrested?
No. But soon after they thought this was him, he was committed to an insane asylum, as they called it then at that point, and he wasn't let out. And then the murders actually stopped, according to Dr. Dean's lecture. And so they think that it was Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant. So I think I will invite Dr. Dean on maybe to give his whole lecture one night on PowerPoint or during the day, and then we'll repost it. It'd be kind of fun to have people chiming in and talking, and actually even asking Dr. Dean questions. It would be very interesting.
It would be.
So, so you, Michael Bryant, in our little snack You're starving. That's all I can say. Starving.
Getting
Starving.
mugged. Yeah, I did not. I got the first one right, and then I went right in the dumper after that.
Yeah, but you know what? You were a lot of fun, and this is actually something that I gave last night and the night before and the night before after our shows to people, because it's very interesting to see what they know, what they don't know about Jack the Ripper, or what they can glean because they listened to Watch the Elephant Man or saw the Elephant Man on
Yeah, I'll have to
CNN.
rewatch that. It was such a great movie. All right. Well, thanks, Prof, for that little snack. We are Justice Serve TV, so please try to do the right thing.